Good day, good evening, good night, good morning, and welcome to our 106th podcast of the Realz Tennis fans. I've noticed I just never really say Realz Tennis fans podcast ever. People could be random, but you know what? We are the Federer of the podcast, which means we're the best tennis podcast there is out there.
I
And
don't know how we could be the best, motherfucker. We didn't even end up in the final. I don't know.
but let's check tomorrow. When we check the ratings, you will see that the best was definitely afternoon session, which was sold out, I'm sure. So we're definitely the Federer of the podcast.
They all sold out, so you can't even do that. However, I'm sure a huge sellout assumption was somebody that didn't make the final would be in the final.
I'm trying to prop us up, and here you are just trying to be Debbie Downers. You know what? I can't even.
Just being realistic.
This was the final you wanted.
Look, y'all can't be trying to drag this when this is a common feature on the WTA, okay? This is just ATP catching up with the ladies. Okay? I'm just saying. We know how the ATP likes to have a career, a resume weave, and this is an excellent opportunity to get yourself 2,000 points, I think it is. And some excellence on your
resume. Is 2,000 points?
I think it's something like that. It is it's like 1,500 points or something.
No,
like
it's 1,500 points.
Okay, so it's between a major and the 100. And Grigor's never been here before, so that's 1,500 points. Before I go any further, let me introduce my co-hostesses with the mostesses. We have Andreen from Solely Tennis Travel, who I can assure you she might be tipsy or she might be nice. She is having adult beverages in jolly old London at this point. You're still in London, right?
Yeah, I'm still in London. What the fuck?
And we have in Foreign Ohio, the Kiddo Kiddo podcast, where shows me it is snowing in her neck of the woods.
Yes, it is snowing. Welcome to winter.
Ugh. And this is Realz here coming at you live. Well, no, it's not live. You will have us in delay. But ladies, we are on to I think it's our penultimate podcast of the year. So
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. We have probably one more edition, and I don't know.
What a year it's been. It could have been a little bit better, but somebody fucked that shit up.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I don't know if I'm being greedy, because at the beginning of the year, I was just like, you know what? I'm just happy Federer come along, you know. I have been dealing with Federer losses. You know, I'm just happy Federer is still playing. Oh, he won the Australian Open, and I was like, fuck it, tennis season is over. Done right here. We want nothing else. And, you know,
and then he just kept winning.
But yeah, exactly. Indian Wells, he won Miami. And he said, you know what, fuck Clay. And you know what? I don't blame him, because we usually say fuck Clay too. You know, going on except for the last 10 years or 12 years or 13
fuck Clay
years.
Since way before the times of Rafa. I ain't never liked that red shit.
But anyway, and you know, Federer decided to be all generous and give Rafa a couple slams, and these people got really.
And people got pissed off about it.
I know. I mean, like,
greedy
bastards never grateful. I mean, come on now. He gave him a couple slams. Not only give him a couple slams, he gave him a couple Master Series 1000, and he allowed the motherfucker to take the #1 ranking, and that still wasn't enough. God damn it! You can. I mean,
you know what? I mean, for me, whatever. I'm just gonna be that petty bitch for once. Well, not for once.
For once. Wait.
You know what? I'm just gonna put it out there.
Wait. I need to hear Janina finally being petty. Please speak to me about being finally petty, Janina. Go ahead.
I probably should save this for the wrap-up show. I will talk about it again for sure. But listen.
Sure.
For the first time ever, Federer beat Rafa every fucking time they played, and I love that shit. And I am so glad that Rafa didn't win this title and Federer. Like, if Rafa would have won, you know, that would have just dampened everything. Yeah. But he was out first. Then Federer decided to play like shit. But still, at the end of the day, every single time they played, he beat Rafa, and that was so fun because that never happens.
But it's like the thing about I think
bless.
this gives out kind of like levity and it's a parody. Just sort of like keep things balanced. Y'all got Master Series. You got 2 slams. Everything is all quiet. You know what I mean? But then next year, Djokovic is coming back, and we gotta see what's gonna happen then. But let me just put it out there.
He's gonna be 25 again.
2017, I have come to some very solid conclusions. And I have to say that, one, Nole Fam is the craziest set of people out there in the fucking world. After Trumpers, it's Nole Fam.
Oh, God.
And then the most ungrateful fans are Rafa stands. I'm just pointing out there. Y'all can get mad. Y'all can be sad.
How you gonna be ungrateful when somebody took the whole Clay season off and gave you a chance to clean up in the points?
Exactly.
I don't get that. I don't get it either. I say cheers.
Y'all mad.
I've been advocating I've been advocating the top guys splitting the seasons for years.
Wait, and here's the best part, right? They're mad that he took off so much time. But even if he had showed up mathematically, Federer just could have lost the second round in every goddamn tournament. And it would have been to take your number 1 ranking. So, relax, people.
Federer did you a solid.
To save his body, did y'all a solid. Because y'all got 2 majors and you got the number 1 ranking.
Enjoy it, because I believe.
What else more y'all want?
I believe that firmly Djokovic has been spending his off season in Russia, and he is coming back fierce as fuck next year.
Actually, no. Apparently, he just started in November.
And apparently, he hasn't even touched. I don't think he hasn't even touched the rackets. I don't know what you want.
He's supposedly right. He's supposedly
look. Wait a minute.
We are so off topic already. Let's talk.
Wait a minute.
Finals. No.
I mean. Let us just put it out there.
Okay, let's go back. So finish your thought, and then we'll do exactly what Janina says, which is go back to the World Tour Finals.
Okay, I just want to put it out there. I want 2017. Yes, it's true. It's not the wrap-up show, but I would like 2017 to be the end of all fucked up medical reports, okay, about players' injury. I just want no more, okay?
All right.
I don't want anything, players, if you're ill, stay home. And then you're going to make an announcement to say, I'm not playing this week. And then the next announcement is that I'm going to play that week. That's it. Nothing else.
Yeah, let's put that
and I would
rest.
elaborate in our wrap-up show.
So
this is the, I guess before we get to the actual tennis, let's, talk about nuptials. Very rare do we get to see. Well, actually, it's not true. As of late, we've been getting a lot of weddings to deal with. I mean,
none are as grand as
Nothing was ever as covered like this.
I mean, Federer led the trend. I'm just putting it out there again. Federer, active player, getting married, and it's not fucking up his game. So everyone realized, we can do this.
Right.
We can really do this. And congratulations to Serena. And I hope she's not taking on Serena Ohani or whatever that last name is pronounced. I hope it will remain Serena Williams. No. Because, I guess the trade-off is he carry her purse and she might just have to carry his last name. I don't know. He seemed to carry her purse a lot.
I don't think she's taking his last name. I don't think we'll see
But
that.
Congratulations. And let me just say, Venus, girl, I see you. I saw you. You look like the baddest bitch.
She looked lovely. She looked beautiful.
You outdid Beyonce, girl. Your weave was fly.
She looked the best of everyone.
I mean, your 2 outfit was rocking, Serena. I didn't appreciate the Nike gold studded. Yeah,
my god, I love that.
Too gaudy, too much.
No, that was perfect.
Oh my god, I'm gonna say something sacrilegious. I didn't like her dress. Sorry.
Yeah, me either.
Okay. So I liked her dress.
I don't like the top of that dress. That's not.
Here's the thing.
That dress too.
I liked the dress best when it wasn't on her. There was a photo. No, seriously, listen. There was a photo
of it hanging. Yeah.
And it's stunning. That dress is beautiful. It was an Alexander McQueen. It was gorgeous. Mm-hmm. And then she put it on.
Yeah.
And her boobs did not fit in it right. And I was so pissed.
Yeah. Her cup running over, girl.
I know.
Serena. First of all, Serena.
You don't get to
Yes.
spend that kind of money on a dress and
Yeah.
not have it fit
I
you
know.
flawlessly.
Fit
And
you
then
perfectly. Yeah.
I was also pissed that she wore that fucking shawl because not that I didn't care for it. I'd never care for that.
Yeah,
However,
it didn't.
I
No, it didn't.
but I felt like she was wearing it because we know she's self-conscious about her arms. And I thought this is
Really?
yes.
Why? At this
She
moment?
but
in
she
time?
has said it
Her arms are partly what we know about her.
but she has said it a million
Yeah.
times.
It
She has
looked-
said it.
mm-mm.
And
It
I
don't
thought
look cute.
she's covering herself because she's uncomfortable. And this is her wedding day when she should feel so beautiful and she's trying to hide parts of her body. That's honestly when I saw her with that thing, I was like, oh no. She's self-conscious
I
on her
didn't like
wedding
it.
day.
And let me just put it out there. Can we not put black people,
which means
black
that she
women,
shouldn't look
do
at, she
not
shouldn't
put
look to the
any
left of
other
Venus,
fucking
'cause Venus
designer
looks
who
gorgeous.
put black women, especially beautiful, strong, and famous black women, and other fucking feather bullshit. I'm gonna pluck you from head to toe. I mean, I didn't like when Michelle Obama in 2008 wore that kind of feathery, stringy looking shit. Yep. Didn't like it for the inaugural ball. And I certainly didn't like it for Serena's second dress with those ugly hideous Gotti. Didn't like it.
Oh my God.
Serena.
See, I loved it. That was my favorite
Didn't like
dress.
it.
That was my favorite dress.
Didn't
I
like
loved it. I loved the shoes that she wore initially. I loved the studded Nikes that she changed into to dance. I thought that was beautiful. I thought it was perfect. I thought it was appropriate. I love.
What do I know? I'm a gay
it.
man, so I don't know.
I
I'm
loved
just
it.
saying. I don't know anything.
I mean, if you could get away with wearing like bedazzled sneakers at your own damn wedding, do it.
I mean, you can
say.
do whatever you want to do at your own goddamn wedding. I'm just saying, right? But you know what? That wedding wasn't for Serena. She know it. I know it. It's for the children. It's for the people out there. For the people out there. She don't need that wedding for this man. She's
That
I'm just
wedding
saying
had
for the
Serena all over it. Are you kidding me?
I didn't like it. I thought it was too much. Yeah. Call me a hater.
Anywho, I mean, listen. You know what? I don't really sweat celebrity stuff. So,
and furthermore,
it looked good. I mean, could we wait? Could we talk about the most important thing? This is the issue. First of all, because the wedding was shot by Vogue, they didn't focus on the right things. You're right. I didn't see anything about the food. I didn't see anybody dancing. I need images of people dancing, having a good time. It was all too stagey. The photo shoot wasn't interesting to me at all. It was very light vanilla. And I was like, I didn't have any character.
Yeah.
And I was like, and also, if you have celebrities, why capture them in such awkward ways? Like, why capture Beyonce standing behind a chair somewhere? I mean, it's just like, this is your image that you have of these gorgeous people that's the best light. And
trying to come to a very excitable.
And let's talk about the fact that Richard is missing. I don't know what's happened with Richard, but he needed to have been there. Even if he was not too healthy, a picture of him sitting down somewhere, how do you have and that whole family picture, how do you have a family picture with all those white people in it and no Richard, who was a huge part of bringing this family and to the forefront of our attention? Where's Richard?
So I'm going to tell you I'm going to tell you why I think that happened. All of what you just said, I have a theory about it. Serena and her family are historically private. And she knew that everybody was going to want to be a part of her wedding in some way as a fan, and that she needed to let them in. My guess is that she said, yes, you can do this. However, this is what you can show. And I bet you she said, I don't want those types of pictures. I don't want the intimate moments out there for the public, because she's never wanted that. I think that what we saw was not by accident.
For sure. I'm sure she ran all the pictures by. I'm sure they ran all the pictures by, which is why the pictures were personality-less. I mean, they were uninteresting.
I really think that was intentional. Because
but it's, if you want to bring someone into a spectacular moment, listen, it's fine. I saw a lot of people goo-gooing about the pictures, but they didn't tell a story. They didn't tell a story of people who were real and connected to each other. It was very glossy and strange.
Here's the crazy thing for me.
By design, I really do.
Probably,
for me, the most interesting pictures for me were the pictures without people, or the pictures of the baby shoes, the clothes, the cufflinks, the dress hanging. That seemed to tell a story.
Did you get your phone?
Team awkward, and of course Venus looking fabulous, but Venus made that moment about her. And Venus, you know, I love you, girl. I mean, you should have made the time to make the moment about you was on fucking court, okay? Like Melbourne in January.
Stop! You cannot tell Venus. You can't tell Venus to dull her light. She looked gorgeous.
Venus was better than everybody there. Venus outshone the bride.
Best of everyone. I know.
Well, whenever you choose to shine, Venus, and you know, I dragged you last week, a couple weeks ago at DM when y'all had the rehearsal dinner and whatnot. I dragged you because that outfit, girl, that hair.
You're a mess.
She was radiant. She was radiant.
I love when you move from a 2. You know, for the little shindig, whatever, and then you just go full on bang 12.
Yeah,
for the main event.
I loved her dress. I loved her hair. I loved her makeup. And you know what? She looked truly happy to be
natural.
Having a good time. Exactly.
It was perfect.
Oracene looked great. That's the best I've ever seen Oracene look.
Oracene looked so good. I didn't even know who the fuck she was. Who's holding that baby? I had to make the caption pop up.
Please.
You know what? So this tells us all that they know that they can make Oracene's hair look better. That's all I'm saying.
Right. But the other thing to y'all need to understand, Oracene gives zero fucks. You know, she's at this point in her life where it's like, look.
Listen, I get it. I don't mind it. I love that about her. But she looked fabulous as mother of the bride.
She looked beautiful.
Yes. The sisters looked. The other sister, I think it's Isha. Isha looked really. Yes.
They looked great.
You know what? No one looked bad. Honest to God. Even Alexis, whatever the fuck his name is, I don't even know. His hair even did all right. He usually looks like he hasn't washed it in about a week and it's really greasy. And it still had a little bit of that, but it was styled better. He even looked good. I was happy.
I mean, he had an Armani tux. You can't fuck up an Armani tux. You
can if you have greasy hair.
No, you can't. You can't. I'm telling you.
She looked good.
People who usually walk in, probably
the baby looked good. He looked good. You know, I didn't even pay attention to his side of the family. I didn't notice. I was just looking for Richard. So wherever Richard was, I hope he was there. Because honestly, it's an open question. Obviously, the father is probably there. He would have to be there on some level. But, you know, find a nice picture. Find an interesting way to highlight that he was there.
Listen.
Strange.
No, listen. He had a stroke, and we don't know what happened after that. And sometimes when people have strokes, they have permanent deformities in their face.
Yeah, I mean, weird. Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons that if he is that sick, she wouldn't want to put that out there in the public because then all of a sudden it becomes.
I get it, but you know, I get it. But what about a picture of him in the shadows, like with the profile?
Yeah.
It's just you're left asking the question, where is Richard? Like it just becomes pretty obvious.
I'm assuming. I didn't read the article. It might have been mentioned, but I'm seeing people.
Was there an article, or were they just pictures?
There was a nice long.
Oh yeah, because they made a mistake about. They call it the Paris Open or something.
I don't know. I didn't actually read the whole thing.
It was long. I didn't even see Patrick either.
Patrick didn't go.
I'm just saying. And I know I'm here for all of the tea. Since we're asking about Richard and we have dealt with that, where was Patrick? Where was Carmen? I'm just saying. Hey.
Patrick wasn't
there. So only one tennis person was invited. That was Caroline. Was the actor, right? Wow, that's friendship for real.
Other ones there. I mean,
interesting.
Other than Venus.
I see Marion Bartoli trying to get in on the action, be like, "Oh, Serena responded to my messages, even though she's having a wedding." Well,
Did you know, Marion. She said an automatic picture. She sent it an automatic response.
Well, Marion couldn't go because there was so much technology around, so she's. Sorry, girl. Next time we have a wedding in a bat cave, we will invite you.
Well, Serena knew not to invite her because, right? They had they said no pictures, and Marianne would have been figuring out a way to sneak a picture up in there. So.
Right.
No pictures until it was released, I guess, on Vogue.
Oh, okay. I guess people could tweet like whatever the case may be. And she had Cynthia Riva there. There were a lot of amazing Black women in attendance, so that was really cool.
So go ahead and
guys for you, right?
Yeah.
Right. So Realz said there were no Black men there, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I went back through and looked at the pictures. I saw plenty. They weren't prominent in photos. And I know I don't.
I know you're counting the
band.
band. You are counting the band. That doesn't count.
You can't call you can't count the performance. Like New Edition doesn't count.
Oh my god!
You're so bad. I'm sure Jay-Z was there.
You know what? I don't think Jay-Z was there. Jay-Z, I kept going, where's Jay-Z? Where's Jay-Z? And then I thought about it. He's actually on tour right now, so he probably wasn't there. Because he's due to be in England real soon. So I don't think he was there. Because Beyonce
at least
was
wedding
with Michelle.
Siblings, okay? I mean, we can't say the same thing about Misha Zverev. I'm just saying, okay?
Oh, that's another person that got married this week.
Yeah. He got a formal nuptial, so
it looked like
congrats to him. Listen, do it plain and simple. Save your money, honey, for the house. Right. Save your money for the house.
It wasn't
you don't got a lot of cash.
You got to defend those points come next year. And as we're talking about nuptial, let's just put it out there for. I mean, I don't know what to say. Nicole Vida-Silva is back with Radek Stepanek. I mean, like. Ugh.
Good for her.
Why do you even know that?
Good on it, girl.
He retired officially,
because,
you know.
Because your man
retired.
Tomas Berdych is hanging out with Radek Stepanek. I'm minding your business.
Good.
Maybe they're gonna coach.
Photo. It's almost like if these players can't go to the beach, like during the year. It's almost like, season is done. Beach pictures. Exotic places all throughout the world.
Because tennis players are as predictable as everyone else. They do exactly what each other does. It's like
people go to Monaco. You go to Melbourne, and it's not like, I mean, I can understand if too much is winning every week in, week out. I mean, I don't know
why he needs a break.
Exactly.
You're so right. You're a mess. Tomak's been on a break for a while though.
Everyone deserves a break.
Yeah, they need an off period. Oh, so the other thing, the other news that wasn't nuptially related that came out this week was the Rafa lawsuit, right?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So he won his defamation
suit against that French lady. It was for a very nominal amount of money, but I guess he wasn't interested in getting tons of money, and so he's going to give the money back. Apparently, this was the woman who suggested that Rafa Nadal had been going had some sort of dubious reason for disappearing on the tour when he was off, when he had an injury layoff. She suggested that it was a silent ban. And so he took her to court.
And he won.
And he won, which was dumb of her, because, girl, if you're going to say something, at least have the paperwork for it.
Yeah,
but she could make those claims in a book if she wants and try to recoup some of that lost money.
Yeah, it wasn't that much money anyway. And I thought it was very strange, on top of all of that, and the French Federation, before all this was even announced, this just all seemed rather sketchy because whatever. I'm just saying, because one Rafa was just like, I have the proof, I'm going to show everybody, et cetera, et cetera. And then it's just like, oops, no, you can't show everybody the proof. Just like,
well, because it's weird. Why are you releasing your records?
The whole thing
exactly.
Was
weird. He couldn't show the proof. He said he could show the proof. There was no proof to show.
Well, maybe they did it quietly.
And then the French Federation was just like, yeah, we're going to give him a statue. He's still playing. People like, what the fuck?
Listen, whatever they need to do to get that sorted.
I'm supposed to show up. At the Rafa, passing the Rafa Nadal. I'm supposed to go and fully shatter it. Yeah. I mean, he deserves all the accolade after.
Well, listen, you know what? My thing about these things is you can't sue a player while they're playing. The time to release the dirt is when they retire, lady. That's when you leave all the dirt out there. I'm looking forward to learning about the tour. I'm looking forward to learning about this current era in about 10 years.
Yes.
I know this shit's gonna be juicy. I don't care about anybody talking now. Too many people.
True, fair enough. But I mean, nothing happens
broken. Things are gonna happen. You're gonna find out about what was the real tea 10 to 15 years from now. That's when I want it.
Because remember, Marcelo Rios found out that Peter Corda was cheating. He was doping, and everybody knew this. The administration knew this. They give him a silent ban, and then tell him to quietly leave during Wimbledon.
Mm-hmm.
And Marcelo Rios lost that Australian Open final to Peter Corda, and he was like pissed.
Yeah,
and he was just like, "I deserve." And I mean, because
that's why it sucks. That's why dealing with it later, it doesn't do anything for you.
Exactly, because I mean, the institutions are willing to prop up themselves, and there is this, as we know, not just in tennis, but in many other organizations, people feel the institution cannot fail. We don't care about personal lives. You know, we're not interested in integrity. We're just concerned about getting the money and the dollars flowing in. But you know, people can see that in everywhere else except in tennis. But you know, anyway, so yeah, so Rafa, congratulations to Rafa. I mean, like, it's really she's finally someone because a lot of accusations have been going around, not just with Rafa, but in other tennis players. And I guess he put his mouth where his money is, and he stepped up, and you know, he got the victory. Now I guess someone should go after Max Eisenberg, because he be saying some funky shit about people all the time. And not only that, he gets to keep saying it, he gets to tweet it, and he gets to show up at all the important events.
And the other court case, wow, we have a couple of news. The police have decided to not pursue charges against the person who hurt Petra because they can't find the person. They can't find the individual. Not enough evidence about what the hell happened and who he is. And
shady.
Yeah.
Funny.
Mind you, the person broke into a house, walked in as a gas man, and then he went in, assaulted her,
cut her up, and disappeared into the shadows trying to exploit her.
There was some sort of like, I have something on you. You need to give me money.
It's probably listen. This sounds so dark. I don't even want to mention it because it's probably some shady as shit.
Yep.
So you know, that's another thing that we'll figure out what really happened 5 to 10 years from now.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, it might sound like a crazy fan, but there would have been the thing about crazy fans is that they make several attempts to make actual contact with the.
It just, you know what? It sounds like organized.
It sounds like some mob shit.
Yeah, it does sound like
exactly.
Exactly. I'm a like trying to be all nice. No, to say it like it is. That's a mob
it sounds organized. That's what I'm about to say. It sounds very organized. So I'm gonna let that be.
Yeah.
That just sounds scary to me. If I were Petra, obviously I hope she moved.
Yeah.
I mean,
and be like, no, me that will be in my apartment. Okay, I'm gonna use a candle. I'm good.
Hopefully, like leased an apartment or bought an apartment.
Went somewhere else. Hope so. No, I mean that's serious enough.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody did a crime to you, and the cops were like, "We can't press charges because we don't know who this person is." That's scary as hell.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The thing that really bothered me about the announcement is that we're gonna stop investigating. No.
Yeah, a crime is a crime. What? Like, do you just like stop?
Like, you don't get stopped. And then secondly, not like she's not like she's more, but I mean, like, this is really insane. I mean, someone went in to try to kill her, damage her, and then tried to exploit her. It wasn't bad enough. This clearly wasn't a random thing. They knew who she was, what they were doing, and where they were going. So you can't just be like, "Oh, we're done." Like, no.
Well, guess what? They did.
I mind you,
they did.
It's like a year, right? It's like a year now, right?
I know. Wow, we have news galore this week, and Andy Murray has gotten off the coaching carousel again. Lendl is like petty.
Actually, no. Let's put the correct. Let's modify it into the actual subject and predicate. Andy Murray was put off the coaching carousel. He didn't get off. He was put off again. Okay.
Oh, did Lendl decided he was going to be the one to go?
I think
Lendl doesn't do injury recovery. He don't do injury recovery. He don't got time.
He does seem to leave when Andy's at his most vulnerable. That seems to, well, you know what? But I guess
probably so he can come crawling back begging.
But you know what though? It's best to know what you're good at. He doesn't seem like he's good at hand holding, right? You know, you had when Mauresmo came around, Andy said it was really important to have somebody that he felt like he can talk to and sort of have like, I mean, he legitimately did mention the word emotional. I know, but he also did mention emotional. So, you know, I know a lot of people hate that because everybody hates to think that women coach is different. I think they do. It's not a big deal if they do. It's okay. And I think he said that there was an opportunity for a lot of like back and forth in that way. So it seems to me that maybe Lendl doesn't like to do that. That's not what that's not what he identifies as his strength, which is legitimate. You know, it's like, you know what? Wait until you get your shit together. I can't be like, I don't want to be around you when you're trying to recovery.
Listen, he
gives
you
whiny and like, oh my God, my back end about working.
No, you know what? But I think he knows himself best. He knows what kind of coaching he can do well. And if you don't want to do the hand holding part, you wait, and then maybe when Andy is fully recovered, he might come back and say, "Listen, let me get you over that hump again." It'll be curious.
And clearly,
I don't think
Linda
Andy Murray is gonna do the. I don't think Andy Murray is gonna pull a Fed though.
No.
I don't think he's gonna make a quick return.
Timothy Henman. Yeah, no, girl, stop talking. Stop talking, okay? Andy needs a coach. You could have benefited from a real coach, okay?
Well, but, he doesn't want. Yeah. He doesn't think Andy needs a coach. Jamie Delgado he thinks is enough, right?
No, we've talked about this having a bro in the box. Okay, it doesn't work.
I think Jamie's is a little bit better than a bro. You know what? I think Andy. Listen, it took Andy a long time to get back in shape after his back. I think it's going to take him equally long because you know what? He ended up not. He didn't do surgery. He did some sort of I don't know. What do you do when you don't do surgery?
Physical therapy.
Some physical therapy rehab kind of thing. Yeah. I don't know how you rehab a hip, but
acupuncture or whatever.
You don't.
Realignment.
Listen,
yeah,
you don't. So you rest it. It feels better, and then you start on it again, and it hurts again. He needs probably surgery, or he needs to stop playing because you can't do that to your hips. You can't. They don't regenerate.
It'll be interesting to see.
I think in Andy Murray's mind, he is Wolverine. He thinks he's made of like adamant, like his bones are made of like steel. Because the little megalomaniac when it comes to his body, he doesn't listen to it. God knows he can barely listen to his mind. And I guess the other thing too is that he probably has like very weird. I guess I don't want to say weird, but there might be some sort of like psychological issues here. Not to say he's crazy, but let me explain. Before these Murray stands, and I told you people, y'all need to calm the fuck down because y'all can't be in the stand quality. Y'all not supposed to be stand. But Murray in the past, you saw always like, oh my god, little niggles, oh my god, my knee, my hip, and whatever the case may be. So maybe he sometimes think that whenever he has like a legit injury, like he's overreacting because he's been constantly crying wolf. When there was nothing there. So as a result of that, he doesn't know he's incapable or unable to really listen to his body and know when to rest and stop. Because he showed up at the US Open with full intention of playing. And then he's now later on saying like, yeah, I shouldn't have been there. I shouldn't have even tried. Like, and it's like,
I think it's difficult for those athletes. Andy Murray follows. Listen, there are lots of people who you can follow on the tour. Andy Murray took the Rafa school, which is I'm going to punish my body. I'm going to feel pain as part of the sport. The joy of the sport is the pain. And that's a part. So it seems to me that if you construct your experience around pain, then you tolerate a high degree of it. So when things are really serious, maybe it's a little bit harder for you to make that distinction. So, I'm curious. I have a feeling that Andy Murray's going to struggle for quite a while to just get his body right. It just feels like that. I feels like we'll be lucky if we get Andy Murray doing something amazing by March, April,
or 2019.
Well, there you go. Janina is hopeful for another year.
Well, I can let you know that we got Dr. Schultz and is that pronounced it correctly? And Bree letting us know that 2011 wasn't the best World Tour final since 2017.
It was actually because it was a really good final between Tsonga and Fed, I believe. It's actually one of the better matches. So, yep. Anyway, yeah. So,
Andreen, you were on the ground you were on the ground in London for this tournament. How much did you see? How many matches did you go to?
I think I saw a good quality amount. I went to I saw 4 during the round robin. I saw Tuesday all day, Wednesday all day and night, Tuesday all day and night, and I saw every group. Because one of the things that people always forget is that the best way for you to see the pairs is to pair up the days. So if you want to go on 2
consecutive days,
yeah, you have to go on 2 consecutive days, and you have to go Sunday, Monday, and then you'll see everyone, every group, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, Friday. I always choose Tuesday, Wednesday because the tension is the highest, I think, at that level. Because the first 2 days, they're just establishing themselves. But then the second 2 days, now you know the winner already feels like they're ahead of the game.
Exactly.
The losers are like, shit, I need to win a match. So I usually do that. And then I usually aim for one of the semis. I always do the night one because I think they traditionally put the best match at night. Or in the past, they usually put Andy Murray in the afternoon. Not to say those aren't the best match. They've actually been some of the really, really good ones because it's usually Andy Murray playing like Rafa and it goes like 15 hours. But it's just always the case. So I mean, I feel like
it's an intention to keep the It's also, I think,
trying to keep Murray fresh.
They usually try to keep Murray fresh, and it's usually BBC. BBC usually covers the afternoon, and then another Sky Sports does the evening.
And they want to keep the parallel because they had a Murray brother in the afternoon, so the people are going to show up for the doubles. So they wanted to make people come to the doubles.
They don't give a shit about that, no. Because Murray's brother is not always there. No, it's really singles driven. It's not double. You know, the double. I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't think they care about one bit about the doubles. I think usually they do it because they do want to keep Murray fresh. They usually want Murray fresh, and I think it's usually whatever match the BBC requests. And if it is Andy, I think they usually like Andy in the afternoon. So I saw.
BBC is not gonna have any pull next time around because Amazon Prime is running that shit for you.
I know. So yeah, I mean, I saw a good chunk of matches. You know, I think there was definitely some changes this year. Part of it is, you know, I think you've heard people talk about the fact that there wasn't a fan zone. You know,
you couldn't see practice sessions.
There weren't really. I mean, I think there was one practice court, but I think now the other practice courts are actually behind the sponsor section. Like, I think the sponsors now have access to that. You don't have access to that unless somebody was going to go out but I don't know whether this is an active choice or because there's actually construction. There's construction in the areas where the fan zone traditionally is. It's all being So supposedly they're adding high-end stores. When I was walking to the other entrance, you have two major entrances, and the one entrance is like freaking East Bumblefuck. You're walking miles and miles. So I went over there and I was like, wow, this isn't very exciting. The guy's like, wait, come back in a year and a half. You're gonna have Giorgio Armani and Versace or whatever. So it's like high-end stores are coming in. So I don't know if we will have a return to the fan zone or if they're changing things up. But also maybe the fan zone was a part of the Barclays agreement, and now you have Nitto. I don't know what Nitto's offering to pay for. But I did think what they did do is some of the things that was part of the fan zone, they transitioned it behind and inside. So once you pay and you come in and you're walking around with the food and other things, you can access those. So the difference between that, I think, is that in the past you could just show up having not paid a ticket and access it and access the experience without having tickets to get in. And I guess there's some value to that, right? If you're like, bring your kid there and you can have them hit a ball and see how fast they serve or all that kind of stuff. Those things were still there. They were just moved inside.
Okay.
So I don't know why that choice was made. And you know what? It was, I have to say, in contrast to the next gen, I like the next gen a little better.
Ooh.
You know, because it felt fresh. Like, I thought with a new sponsor, maybe they would change the colors up. You know, Barclays was blue, makes sense. Is Nitto blue? I don't know. But it's like, I think that's a technology company or something. So I'm like, I thought they would just freshen things up, you know, use it as an opportunity to change the look of the event. Nope.
On TV, it really did look the same, except it just doesn't say Barclays anymore. So
it's exactly the same thing. And actually it's exactly the same thing even with the music. Like, I mean, let's just deconstruct it. You sitting there and they show the exact same videos on the monitor. The assumption, I guess, is that there's a new audience every night. No, most likely people are paying and coming a few times. Mm-hmm. So it's the exact same video footage, the exact same songs every night. I mean, really? It's like press a play button and just go. That's what you're going to do? Meanwhile, remember what I told you, next gen, a DJ, trying to, you know, an actual live DJ doing something different. You know, come on now. Like, it's like, really? Entertain me. I'm sitting there waiting to be entertained. Don't just cut the same 3 videos.
Right.
It was I know them by heart. One of them was the Cockney accent, testing out different accents and different phrases. What does this mean when I say this phrase? It means bring me a curry or something like that. There was that one. Then it was behind the scenes footage of the ATP awards, but they didn't say any of who won the awards. They just showed footage. And the ATP trophy moving from different locations all over the city. And then the other one was was an initiative to help children. It's their donation thing, their donation reel. That's it. And then advertising for Sky Sports. Really? Like, you have a captive audience. That's what you're gonna do with them?
Anyway, and they're only there for 2 matches.
Yeah, I'm here for 2 matches.
Exactly.
I'm sitting down for about 15 minutes before the matches start. And you're going to show me the exact same newsreel over and over again. And you got me there between sets. And you're going to play the same 4 songs.
When they come to America, they're going to give you T-shirts. They're going to have people come out with bicycles. They're going to have ladies in skinnies. They're going to do all kind of crazy shit. It's going to be non-stop.
Well,
yeah, it was a little flat.
It is silly to think that you have a new audience though every night, because they should know better. Most people, like you said, you don't go to tennis for a day. You at least go for 2. And
2 at least. That's you know what I mean? So it's like you're freshen it up, change it up. Like, oh, did they miss this last night? It's okay if they missed it.
Don't they send you a survey or something like that every year? Is it this event or Cincinnati?
You know what? I used to get a survey. We used to get a survey I think I did have one that said, tell me how you enjoyed the event at the O2. I'm going to have to see which one it is. Sometimes it's just O2 specific. And then other times it's actually about, I feel like I'm going to share those things. The event feels very old. And you know what? I realized they have it until 2020. So they need to freshen this shit. They got to freshen this shit up. Change it up a little.
I must say that this year, this year, I didn't feel like, as soon as they were sitting down, I was like, oh, God. It did feel dull to me. Whether I was watching a Federer match or a Rafa match, it just didn't feel like the crowd didn't feel exciting and whatever. I don't know if it's because of the feel.
It felt dull because of who was there. Let's be real. Jack
Sock What was your impression?
There. Yeah. I mean,
but you know what? Can I tell you live?
He produced really some of the best tennis, didn't it?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, he escaped. He was doing escaping tennis. Like he was like he was keeping you in suspense the whole time.
I'm sure. So Rafa plays one match and he pulls out. I'm sure that put a damper on attitude for
his fans.
Federer losing in the manner in which he did was stupid.
And he also never. One thing you can count on with Federer, I will say, at the World Tour Finals, is he usually hits his stride. Something about the surface usually makes him just zone in on his game. He never...
And the court looked like it was playing fast.
It was playing a little... I think it was maybe medium fast and high bouncing. But I think the balls were flying weirdly depending on how many people were in the space and how heavy it was. It just didn't. Nobody seemed. Did you notice how many double faults there were as well? Something was happening in that space
with everyone. Yeah,
everyone had double faults.
Player specific. Yeah, that was weird. But I didn't get to watch a whole lot during the week. But when I did get to watch, the commentators were saying that Federer was just pretty uncharacteristic the entire time. That he was very chatty, pissy, just kind of mean, like teenage Federer almost, but not to that extreme.
Irritated, frustrated.
When it comes, to me, Federer couldn't. I don't know if it's the court. I mean, but he couldn't. He didn't seem to be in control of the rallies as he normally would be. He couldn't control because he would be. I think other players made the adjustment, and one of the reasons I thought Goffin beat him, because he clearly wasn't playing well throughout the week. He was just escaping, right? These other two, Cilic and Zverev, and even Sock, they're all mental midgets, right? Federer just knew I just had to wait, and take my time, strike early, and if they get into my face, just wait a while because they would go away. Because they won't be able to. But I thought what Goffin was doing with that, Goffin was just like, what I'm going to try different is just keep you playing. I think the ball wasn't. I think as the rally kept going longer, Federer couldn't maintain, being able to slice the shots, mix it up as he normally would do. And you couldn't hit through the court. I don't know if it's because of the players who were there, but nobody could. I mean, like, so many times.
No, it was not about hitting through the court. You just had to do more with the court. That's what's so interesting, because I think that's in some ways why Grigor lasted. Like, it really, in some ways, the court was favoring a person who was going to do more with the ball, which is traditionally Federer. But the problem was Federer was not feeling the ball. He just wasn't feeling it. Like, he couldn't seem to get himself up for what he wanted to do. Nothing was working. His backhand was having some problems, and then Goffin totally.
There weren't a lot of winners though.
No, and magnificent shanks.
Yeah, some shanks, and also and Goffin was targeting his forehand. So you've got somebody who's a little dodgy on the backhand side, and then their reliable forehand begins to break down. So it just didn't happen. And Federer was just being saved by his serve.
Well,
so it just wasn't weird.
And then you've got Pablo playing. Who
was horrible.
Is out before he's in. Mm-hmm. Really. I mean, when you just look at the field of players before anybody has played, it doesn't look exciting. It just doesn't. Mm-hmm. I mean, I expected Federer to have a cakewalk through to that fucking trophy. I did. Because I thought without him meeting Rafa, I expected whoever he played to mentally break down, even if knowing that they have the game that can beat him, but just knowing who those people were. And we saw it with Goffin against Rafa. He almost lost that because he couldn't focus. He couldn't focus against Federer, and he couldn't focus today against Grigor.
But the thing is, and that's what I'm saying, in a weird way, it's the oddest tournament because it was just about the fact that Federer was off form. Because I think you're right. I think if he was on song like he normally is at this tournament, he's in the final for sure.
Right, because none of them.
There's nothing that they did anything. I mean, Goffin didn't do anything so spectacularly different except persevere, maybe more than he normally would have. Yeah. But what he did was he capitalized on the fact that he was getting a 70% Federer. Yep. Federer was performing at maybe 70-75%.
Which I thought was really interesting.
Pay attention, because that's what you do. That's what you're supposed to do.
He didn't lose his nerve, and he realized that what I noticed from the very beginning of the match, from the very first game, which he got broken nonetheless. Mm-hmm. He made Federer had to go for too much. Every point became Federer couldn't play the margins. He had to go for risky shots constantly, because in the very opening game, Federer had several break points, and Goffin he
just kept the ball in play.
Yeah, he kept the ball in play, and Federer kept fucking up. And if Goffin was somebody like a Davydenko, which was power on both the forehand and the backhand, that match would have been a shit show. Federer would have been down.
But that's what I'm saying. Federer was not able to control the rallies like he normally was. And so inevitably, because I actually said to somebody when I saw the first set, I was like, this is the best Federer has played in a while. Because even though Goffin kept the ball moving, at least Federer was participating in that. Before, he was just like error after error in the last couple of matches. I was like, you know what? I'm not convinced. He won, but I kept saying I'm not convinced. Because there's a moment when Federer dials in.
Yep, like he never did.
He never did. Like he dialed in with Murray, and you just see it. He's like he feels his game and it's ready and it's on. He was slicing on the backhand again. Do you know what I mean? It was just like so. I really believe that I think he came into the tournament. I wouldn't say he was injured, but I just felt like fatigue and just not quite there. And I think he was hoping to get his rhythm.
You know what?
It didn't work.
He wasn't excited about the field either.
Exactly. When Divadal went on, he was just like, "Oh fuck, I got nothing else to prove." Hey,
yeah. I mean, there didn't see. I will say there didn't seem to be an intense amount of fire. Like even the way that he was happy that Goffin won. Usually Federer is a pissy bitch. I mean, and you know, I love a pissy bitch Federer, and he didn't seem pissy at all that he lost. He was like, about time.
Done.
Well, yeah, because he said. I think he said afterwards. He said, actually, I must say that Goffin played a brilliant match, and it's so unfortunate that Goffin did the hard work this week. He took out Rafa, he took out Deborah.
Listen, I know that's what it reminded me of K. It reminded me of K and Chilich.
It wasn't rewarded.
It wasn't rewarded. It's like K and Chilich, Chilich did only one thing by getting rid of Federer, but Kay got rid of everyone in the top 10, I think, that year. He really did. Got to that final and had no legs.
And you know what? I did not feel like Goffin was tired or wore out today. I think he was nervous. I think his nerves is what got him.
No, he was annoyed. I think he was annoyed. He's making stupid errors.
He was tired. I don't want to hear how.
I don't know if he was either.
Out of him.
No, I don't think so.
Rafa and Federer. I really don't think that was the case.
No,
he was a nervous fucking wreck.
I just think that he
choked.
So he choked. You love using this word choke.
I don't know if he choked. I mean, you know what? The game that he got broken in the third set. Because listen, he fought valiantly and came back and got the second. So he was on song in the third. The problem, I mean, I think the one thing is he should have given Grigor a chance to mess up because Grigor was going to. Right. The problem was having that person scream out. Remember, he was 30-love up. Mm-hmm. Having that person scream out, he allowed himself to get disrupted. I hope he knows that that's gonna be happening at Davis Cup, so he should prepare for that. So he gets a bad default there.
You're gonna be in Belgium there.
No, I thought it's in France. It's in Lille, where I went the last time. So yeah, so you know what I mean. So it's just like, you know, he got himself, like, that was one of those service games where I was like, get through the service game and just push all the pressure back on Grigor. Because I have to say, having seen Grigor play soccer, he just nervous Nelly the whole time. He's just a nervous Nelly throughout the whole thing.
Well, you know what I hope?
Grigor was putting some bullshit serves down there anyway.
I really hope, because we talked about this a little bit last time. Grigor started off 2017 great.
Really well. Mm-hmm.
And then he just kind of faded away. I really hope this propels him into next year. It is time for him to be a staple. Like, dude, you're world number 3 now. You can't just fade off into nowhere. Keep pushing,
listen,
because he has given
who's around and who's not around, there's no reason why he shouldn't replicate a good semifinal run at the Australian. Right. Maybe even defend his title in Brisbane. You know what I mean? There's no reason why that can't happen. Because I think that he's been given the space to actually be allowed to thrive. There's nobody around now.
And he has positioned himself amazing for Australia.
He should have good draws. You know, no reason to get caught up in some. I mean, he might draw. Maybe he might draw Novak first or second round. I don't know. However, those ranking things work.
It shouldn't be. Novak shouldn't be that low. It shouldn't happen that soon.
Yeah, Novak's going to be 16.
Oh, is he that low?
Yeah, he's that low. So, you know, there's a possibility of you drawing somebody problematic, maybe in like the quarters. But, you know, so, I mean, Grigor is, listen, one of the beneficiaries, we talked about this on our show a couple times, is how the absence of certain people have allowed others to thrive, which is why you can have a Sasha who's never made it to a second week of a slam up there in the top 5. You know, Grigor is kind of come out on his own because there's nobody else around. Also, the thing that Grigor has that is other people are missing is just experience. Time on the tour.
Right.
It's so weird. Sometimes it's just time on the tour.
We forget how long he really has been around.
He's been around a long time. And, you know, it's sort of weird, but, like, when everyone else fades, you're just around now. Like, even Sock, you're around. Yeah. You've been here.
WT. WT.
I mean, I will say this I said it jokingly, but it is true. This is the first time the World Tour Finals really was very much like a WTA Singapore final, which is that it wasn't a reflection of how the year had gone, which has traditionally been how the World Tour Finals is for the men. It's about...
It does usually end up that way.
It ends up being about the top dogs who won slams, kind of culminating their year. This is the first time that it was like two people who had nothing to do with slams.
Right. However, these were two people outside who had a lot of momentum for the year. They had opportunities to do well. Yeah. And it's not a very good fact that they were rewarded with this. And I have to say, if people are going out and going on about Nadal and his knees and fucking shit, whatever, you have to give it up to Goffin. You have to give it up to Goffin. Because had his knees been okay in that second round match, it would have been a different story. Grigor wouldn't have been here.
Yeah.
I think Goffin would have beaten him round robin match. The factor here, but you know, this is bravery, okay? This is bravery. Goffin didn't pull out. Okay? Just say he kept it going. And I felt that, you know, that it was a I enjoyed the match. I watched it from beginning to end. I was annoyed Goffin didn't win because, you know, I know we talked about this on here, you know, like you gotta you gotta tag team these big boys. You gotta tag team them. You gotta knock them out.
I don't think that happened here though.
But it sort of happened because Goffin did the hard work. Dimitrov didn't have to face Nadal. Nadal was in his group. He didn't have to face him. Nadal pulled out. And he didn't have to face Federer in the final.
Well, I'm glad that. I mean, listen, it's the best thing that could have happened for Grigor. I'm not unhappy that he won. I would have preferred Goffin won because I really thought that he did the work. Like he did the work to get there. You slay demons. You leave with that damn trophy, motherfucker. I mean, think about it. Grigor didn't beat anybody that he wasn't expected to beat to get this title. You know what I mean? And it's fine. I'm happy for him. But you come out of this tournament beating Federer and Nadal for the first time ever. You better chomp on some other shit, man. Yeah, you can't get a plate, man.
You need a cup. You need a fucking big cup.
I'm fine with it. Because really, like you just said, Grigor didn't lose to anyone that he wasn't supposed to, including today. Really,
yeah, he did. He should beat Goffin. Although I had Goffin. He should, but he didn't. Not that easily, but yeah, he did. You know, whatever. I don't really care about Grigor. Grigor is kind of like.
I knew Goffin should have taken first. Listen, He fucked up. There were too many. And having watched the next gen, and I have to say, having watched ATP finals, men learn how to fucking volley. Learn how to volley.
I know. I mean, I will say that I'm not a huge fan of Sock, but when he has the opportunity to volley, he will rush the net and he'll do what he needs to do.
Yeah, he's good.
He's very good at that.
Too many points I saw with Goffin where he didn't finish the point. He allowed Grigor to have another shot. Up
to get back. And you know, Grigor is a hustler. Grigor will run every freaking ball down like a motherfucker. So that's what he did. But we have to remember
that Sock made himself comfortable on court playing doubles. So, you know, maybe people should take note.
Yeah, I mean, he did the best.
Doubles allowed Sock to keep money and stay out of shape.
Well, but doubles also allowed Sock to develop some very nice net skills. Sock's good.
Yeah, that's true.
Sure.
He's good.
For sure. Very good at and it was I will say it was nice. It was a nice change.
But that's an American thing though. American boys play doubles a lot.
But you know what was so strange?
Well, why wouldn't they? They have the Bryan brothers to look up to. Really? I mean, no, it's true. It makes sense.
But Realz is right when he says the big difference. I mean, I enjoy the atmosphere of the next gen final better than I did the World Tour finals. But in terms of the tennis, yeah, half the time I was like, man, teach these young kids how to volley or do something different with the ball. It's the same shot over and over.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a Federer Nole generation for sure. All of them coming up, they're just rolling around on the baseline. I mean, it was such a pleasure to sit down and watch a match and have someone try different things with the ball. Like I was like, whew, this is nice.
Thank God, right?
Like it wasn't like let's like slam it at the baseline every 10 minutes. It was really nice to see that. And that's actually why the Grigor Sock match was more enjoyable than was rather enjoyable. Because they were both willing to, you know, Grigor was willing to hustle and Sock was willing to, you know, to try some things.
Grigor was, what I liked about Grigor is that Grigor never kept his eye off the ball and he was ready.
Yeah.
He was ready with his racket. A lot of the times, the young players, they rushed in there and their racket is still on the ground dragging. Like, it's not a fucking sword. You're not dragging trash.
So, you know, I mean.
You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
It's like your racket is your sword. You have to be prepared to clobber the man who's trying to kill you. Stop dragging the racket.
I will say I'm prepared for this ATP final winner to mean absolutely nothing.
Of course.
So
Listen, the only way it was ever going to mean anything was if Federer or Rafa won. And I say that in context of the year because they were the top two the whole time. So had one of them won, that would have been an exclamation point on one of two men who both had amazing 2017s, who weren't supposed to be there. They weren't supposed to do this well ever again.
And you know what you wanted. I mean, and the reality is if on one level too, is if you didn't get the Federer Rafa final or semis, they've really faltered. Do you know what I mean? Having Rafa withdraw that Monday, having Fed be somewhat subpar, you didn't really get to have that thing that you have been riding all year. And you also didn't get to have Del Potro, who also had a nice rival with Federer this year, show up and kind of act as spoiler. So in some ways, the ATP finals this year, but the ATP finals ended up being kind of like kind of a mishmash, like a mishmash. You know what I mean?
Well, because had Federer and Rafa played, but if Federer and Rafa had played, it would have been like the year had come full circle.
Exactly. It would have just, that's what, you know, that, and that's just, it's just different for the ATP. Want. Usually the ATP holds its narrative. Whether you like it or not, it holds the narrative all the way through till the very end. And it's a preference, right? But this time around, it was like, let's toss everybody on the Barbie, and it just became actually just another tournament.
So maybe we're all hypocrites here because we're like, I want to see something different. Somebody step up. And then we kind of saw that.
Here's the problem.
I didn't mind it. It's not so much about that. I think I like it when the story holds, though. I don't mind the end. I don't mind the final. I didn't mind the final. Obviously, this is one of the best finals they've had. Like 3 sets.
In years. Yeah.
A couple hours. Unsure who was going to win it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Both players were in it.
So, who did you meet?
But here's the thing. Here's the problem with this finals, right? The problem is that it's what we know is going to happen. None of these players can carry momentum. So winning this big title is not going to mean anything come beginning of 2018. Had it been Rafa and Raja, we could have said, you know, like this, they're going to carry it. And they usually do. Because look, we were surprised that Raja and Rafa held up, got to the finals of Melbourne, right? It was like, what? What are y'all doing here? Y'all two motherfuckers was on the DL list last week, okay? Like,
but you know what? But it's also a real,
and they carried that
reflection of the fact that but it's also a reflection of the fact that it is an unusual year. I mean, their bodies, they beat their bodies up to get this. Like, this is what people fail to see is like Rafa's body fell apart and Fed's kind of did as well. So this is what happens when you have two of the more mature guys on tour split the slams. You're not going to have that race to the end like you had in 2006 or 2007.
Federer
you didn't have that
shit next year.
Probably.
Federer's gonna look like shit. He's
probably going to look like shit.
You know what, Federer? Take all the time you need. Stay home.
But that's exactly what this is why I was saying when I sat down and was watching the match, it felt like 2013 Federer. Like he just had no energy. Like
just done.
You know, he done, like physically done. Nothing like, and I was like, don't be out there if you're gonna injure yourself. And I think they both literally ran out of gas in October because I think it took a lot out of Fed to win the Basel title.
I don't really feel like that. I don't know. I don't know that Federer ran out of gas. I really don't. I just felt like he wasn't mentally there, and it didn't.
But that's what I mean.
I don't feel like he played enough tennis this year to have run out of gas.
But I don't.
Here's the thing: Federer is 36. It requires far
more energy to get up to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I don't think he was obviously tired, but I just think that whatever he needed to do to get his game on, it wasn't on. And I'm not one of those people that thinks he should have played Paris because I think he did mention that he was injured after Basel. So I do think that like playing Paris wouldn't have helped him get in the rhythm. But it's just maybe more time, maybe exactly the same surface he's normally playing on, not a new one. It just wasn't right. And I think it's the same thing that happened with Rafa. So I don't know about the momentum thing. I think Grigor had a great start to the year, like you pointed out. So he could. Goffin, after trying to go for Davis Cup, I mean, how much more is he going to have? I don't know. You know, it just depends.
Right. Because truth be told, Australia is going to be here in the blink of a fucking eye.
Girl, in like less than 3 weeks.
They are already showing commercials. I mean, it's insane. So let's wrap it up. Let's talk about, what happened on a personal level. Did you meet anybody fun and new from Twitter, or was it the same old Susie's and Deborah's?
By the way, Deb, you know I love you. Deborah, you know I love you. But I found out that you left on Friday. And it was your presence that had Federer eking out these wins. And when you left on Friday, so did Federer's mojo.
Federer was like,
Deborah,
I'm done. I'm done fighting.
I know what you got to do next year. If Federer gets every day, girl.
Well, I met a new person. I met Grigor. I think she's Maisie, but it's Grigor on Twitter. She usually tweets really beautiful drawings. Very sweet person, beautiful, lovely personality.
I have no idea who she is.
Yeah, you should. I shared a picture of her. She was new. I think I'd already met major Fed fan, but I saw her again at Jana Mami, who's Stacy. Met her again. I offered to meet somebody else. I won't say who they were, but they said they had they were reluctant to do so. Who knows what that means, as you know. So that would have been a brand new person. Yeah. But I think
you met these people. I mean, I am surprised that you can actually meet people who are in red suits and hat and those crazy Fed fans.
Yeah, those guys. Yeah, I went up to them. You know what? It's so funny. I just decided this year. I don't know what it is, but this year I just decided to go all in as a fan. I'm usually a bit more reserved, but I was like, I wanted to do everything. I took pictures in front of things. I did all the things you're supposed to do when you go to a tournament, like just soak it all up. So I saw crazy Fed fans, and I'm like, I want to take a picture with y'all. And they're, no, I just said I want to take your picture. He's like, I'm not taking your picture unless you get in it. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna get in the picture. I got lots of free drinks, which was great. I met some, just, you know what, it's always so, listen, it's just fun to meet people who are passionate about the thing you're passionate about and isn't worried about the impression they're going to make or all that kind of weird uncomfortableness. I mean, it's just like, it's all a risk, right? It's all a risk that you're not going to turn out like a crazy person.
And 9 times out of 10, the crazy person doesn't even show up to be because they're scared. And you know what's funny? Because I have to throw Tony under the bus in some way, shape, or form every podcast. But I've learned something that I didn't know. The first year that I met him, he said he hung back and watched everybody because he wasn't sure. Tony's very shy. I don't want anybody to think Tony's a weirdo. He's not. He's just very, very shy. And he said all
people are hearing that Tony is a weirdo. That's all they're hearing.
He's not a weirdo. He's
I know he's not a weirdo, but that's all they're hearing because you just put it out there. He's not a weirdo.
You know what though? Not everybody's Janina. Janina will come up to a rock.
Yeah, pretty much. And he's like, I didn't know if I wanted to put myself in that place. Like, I don't know. He didn't know anybody, not one person. And I'm just like, really? I don't understand that. Like Andreen just said, everybody's not Janina.
Because when you're online, you're in the comfort of your home. You're in your comfort space.
I guess. But I mean, I'm pretty.
When you're at a tournament, you're not.
No, I'm me. What you see is what you get. I will talk to anybody. I mean, you know what?
I'm actually not even that person. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that person, but
as outgoing as I am.
No, I'm definitely not that outgoing. No, I am. I'm not. But you know what? The thing is, what's so great about this fandom in tennis is that you put yourself out there. I've learned throughout the years that you put yourself out there and wonderful things happen. You meet interesting people. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Listen, the ones that are not so interesting.
You hitchhike your way to Wimbledon, basically.
Damn,
you hitchhike your way to Wimbledon this year, basically. That's just what
I love meeting new people. I love it. I think it's fun. And I try to understand when people are standoffish about it and they feel like we might all be crazy. I get it. It's just not me.
Well, because listen, the understanding is we all are crazy.
Plus, we have a podcast, so we can come across as being intimidating on a podcast. Let's be honest.
I've already been told that my hair is intimidating, so I know that for a fact.
That your hair what? You've been told what? Wait, say that again?
I was told once by my boss that my hair was intimidating.
Oh. Oh my God. Whatever. Your boss is white.
So one of my bosses said that once. So, but you know what I mean.
Let's not even get into microaggressions in this episode.
No. But you know what it is, though. You know what it is. You never know, though, because you're quirky. Everybody's quirky, and so when you're about to meet someone for the first time, you don't know if your quirks are going to match up.
Right. No,
they might be charming, or they might be.
My thing is that unless you outright hate the person, like you hear the person over the phone or whatever the case may be, interact with them until you're like, God, I hate this person. Don't meet them.
No, I've even met some of them, and they turned out all right.
Yeah, Janina meets all kinds of crazies, and she loves them all. No.
All right, that's why you're the president of our welcoming committee.
She is. That's why whenever we go anywhere, we put her out front.
Exactly.
It's not just the boobs.
It's I'm so much more than boobs.
Always.
So we're gonna do our wrap-up show live, right? Because
I think we are. We're gonna wrap it up.
Yes.
And it's gonna include,
which is not this week, but then next week.
We will make an announcement.
Of the Davis Cup. Yes, we'll make an announcement.
Yeah, we'll make an announcement.
And by the way, ladies, I just want to know, I'm sure you all received it, and I had to do this ages ago, but I kept forgetting. I received my calendar for 2018, showing me all of the tennis tournaments.
Yes. I think I acknowledged it.
I feel like if we never get a break. No. I did thank him privately, but you know.
Yeah, I thanked him privately as well, but we can also publicly thank him. Thank you, Tony, for providing me with a calendar with images that I'm going to use all of 4. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to use all of them this year.
We already know how you like to dismantle the calendar. Like, oh shit, I'm looking at you for a month.
And let me just say,
it gets a lot of mileage at work.
This year, it's better quality. There's been improvement, upgrade. So,
oh my lord,
well,
damn, Tony! He basically said your calendar was shit last year. That's what he just said.
No. The calendar. You call him a weirdo. Now you're trying to say he says shit like what the. Tony,
I didn't even get to use my calendar from last year because there's a little boy in my house.
We're still in this year.
This year's calendar. There's a little boy that lives in my house who absolutely adores Tony. So when the calendar came and he saw what it was, he thought it was really cool. But then when I said Tony made it, took that shit, hanging on the wall in his room.
That's great.
You know what? Lovely. I'm keeping it this year, okay? It's mine.
So it looked like you have to send a little tiny edition for the Rugrats in Janina's house.
Apparently, this podcast was sponsored by Tony's calendar, ready to come to you in 2018.
And you can buy yours at tenniswatchers.com.
There you go. You go.
On that note, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yes. So, congrats to Grigor. I mean, I don't think we actually said Grigor. Congrats to Grigor. And let me just say, in effort, we have been doing a horrible job to women this year. Since men are shit. We've concluded 2017, men are shit. But let me just say, Andreen, you've been slipping up because your fave won Zuhai, Julia Gerges won Zuhai, and we didn't say shit about her.
What's because I can't watch it. We don't even know what's going on.
Because they put it on tennis, whatever that thing that tennis channel has, and if you put it on that thing, I'm not watching it. So sorry. They put it on the tennis everywhere app. Fuck it. And I was
TC Plus, it's called.
Oh yes, that one. Remember, it was initially called Tennis Everywhere. Sorry, I can't keep up with this damn thing.
I know. Listen, well, unfortunately, unless the WTA finds a way to get these women on TV in a way that is easily accessible to us, we probably won't talk about them.
Amazon Prime. Let me just say,
Amazon
is the devil. Amazon is the devil. Amongst one of the many devils we have to deal with, along with Facebook, Google, Twitter, all social media, but. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Having the next gen finals on my TV, Amazon Prime, thank my brother for having a subscription. It was wonderful, and I was really disappointed. Fuck you, Andreen, because you just messed up my mojo with me watching streaming, and now I can't stream comfortably. I always have this twinge in my heart that I have to go pull up my computer to watch a tennis match. But I don't miss shit.
Now you feel like you're being cheated. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now you feel like you're being cheated.
I have a big screen TV, and
you feel like you're the PCB of the tennis watching community.
Oh shit!
Oh shit! Let me let you know, Pablo is number 10. Okay, in the
Good
world.
for Pablo.
By default.
Hang around, Pablo. Hang around, Pablo.
Had some solid years, some solid tournaments. He got to a final semis.
This is the era of just hang around, boo. Hang around. Hang around. Listen, exactly. if Grigor can win the World Tour Finals before Rafa Nadal, listen, good things happen.
Wait!
Rafa has won before, hasn't he?
No, he is not.
Never?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
Never. Well, that's why. I mean, let me just say this.
That's my gift to you. That was my gift to you, Janina.
Yes, never.
I just thought it had been a really long time.
And Rafa would like to let you know, Nitto World Tour Finals, that he would like the surface to be changed. What's wrong with y'all? Okay.
Listen, we subbed in Grigor. Listen, Rafa taught Grigor everything he knew on those practice sets, and he went ahead and got his title for him, so they could share the trophy when they meet in December. Show pictures of it and cuddle with it, y'all.
I think this is a place to put a statue of Rafa.
Oh my God!
Rafa, listen, Rafa's gonna come back and snatch it next year. Leave him alone. He's got a plan. He wants that damn trophy once.
Please, I'm telling you. Novak will be Nancy Carrot will be Tanya Hahn and some bitch to be getting those finals. So yeah, I'm fucking around.
All right. So I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm heading back to the good old US of A, where hopefully I won't be shot and killed. Because
hopefully you'll be allowed to get in.
These are the things I think about when I'm out of the country. I'm always like, whew, I'm away from guns for a moment.
Oh shit.
That's how I think.
So did you have a wonderful 2 weeks? You were in Italy.
I had a fantastic 2 weeks. It was a fantastic 2 weeks. I don't think I'm going to come and see the next gen again, but I've always World Tour Finals. It's here for another 4 years, so there's a I know Nitto needs to change it up. Get some new colors. Don't do black.
Nitto needs to change it up. You can't rename Nitto. You just can't. Same.
That's a brand. I mean, so we'll see. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I expect to be back here, same bat channel, same time next year. Unless something disastrous happens to Federer in the middle of the year.
Our last show of the year is going to be our award show, RTF Podcast Awards. So we are accepting categories, so you can be regular fans, wonderful fans, and tell us some of the categories you think we should probably put out there. And we're thinking it might be live, which is basically 70% chance it would be live. You get to all the way your tux, etc., and have fun.
Roll out the red carpet. We'll let you know when.
All right.
All right, then. Good night, everyone, and enjoy our podcast. Don't forget to comment below. And apparently, we're all over the net. You just have to search for some of so many fucking crazy different podcast platforms. So there is no excuse, why y'all can't be listening. Just like Federer is everywhere,
we are everywhere.
Everywhere, because we're the best, like Federer. Good night.
All right.
All right.